Welcome to the Learning Hub. Today, we'll share tips to speak English with confidence.
That's right. Practice is the key. Let's get started.
I saw him.
I looked at him.
I watched him.
Same moment.
3 completely different meanings.
And today, we're going to show you exactly why.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Speak English with Confidence, your daily English practice.
Today, we're fixing one of the most misunderstood verb groups in English.
Look,
See.
watch.
Most learners think they're basically the same.
They are not.
Okay, so what's the real difference? Because honestly, when I was learning English, nobody explained this clearly. Teachers just said they're different, but they didn't explain how they're different. And in real life, they all involve your eyes. So why can't we use them the same way?
That's exactly the problem. All 3 verbs are about vision, but they are not about the same type of vision. They are about effort, they are about intention, and they are about time. So here's the simplest way to understand it, and I want you to really slow down and listen to this part. See equals something enters your eyes naturally, no effort. Look equals you move your eyes intentionally. Watch equals you look at something for a period of time.
Wait, that's actually clear.
It is clear, but understanding it in your head is one thing. Feeling it in real situations, that's what makes it natural. So let's break it down slowly. By see, no effort. When you see something, you don't decide to. It just happens. Light enters your eyes, your brain processes it, done. You walk down the street, you see a dog. You didn't plan to see the dog, you didn't choose the dog. The dog simply appeared in your vision. That's see.
So it's automatic.
Exactly. For example, I saw an accident. That doesn't mean you were studying it. It doesn't mean you were focusing on it for 5 minutes. It just means your eyes witnessed it. Another example. Did you see that? Something quick happened. Maybe someone dropped their phone. You didn't plan to see it. You just noticed it. That's the key word. Noticed. See equals notice with your eyes. No effort, no intention. By look, intention. Now let's move to look. Look is different. Look requires action. You decide to move your eyes. You choose a direction. You focus somewhere specific. If I say, look at me, that means move your eyes intentionally.
So look is active.
Yes, look is a decision. For example, I looked at the clock. That means you wanted to know the time. You moved your eyes toward the clock. You didn't just randomly see it. You chose to check it. That's look. Another example, she looked at him. That means she turned her head. She focused on him. There was intention behind the action. See is passive. Look is active. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Watch includes intention, but also duration. When you watch something, you look at it for time. Not 1 second, not a quick moment, but continuously. For example, I watched a movie. That means you sat there, you focused, you followed the story for maybe 2 hours.
So watch includes time.
Yes, time and attention. Another example, I watched him play football. That means you didn't just see him kick the ball once. You observed the action over time. There's continuity. That's why we say watch TV, watch a game, watch a show, watch a performance, because those things happen over time. Now, let's feel the difference. Let's use one single moment. You're walking in a park. Suddenly, a bird flies across the sky. You say, I saw a bird. Correct. It was quick, natural, no effort. But if you say, I watched a bird, that means you followed it with your eyes. You tracked it as it flew. There was time involved. Now imagine this. Your friend says, where's my phone? You say, look at the table. That means move your eyes intentionally. You wouldn't say, see at the table. That doesn't make sense because see is not intentional movement. Now let's go deeper. Imagine this. I saw her crying. That means you noticed it. Now, compare it to I watched her cry. That feels heavier. That means you stayed, you observed, you experienced the whole moment. Same situation, different emotional weight.
Wow, that actually changes the feeling.
Exactly. See is a moment. Look is a decision. Watch is an experience. Here's the real secret. If the action is quick, natural, unplanned, use see. If the action is intentional, directed, use look. If the action is continuous, focused, happening over time, use watch. Once you understand effort and duration, you will never confuse them again.
Okay, now I really feel the difference. It's not three similar words, it's three levels of attention.
Exactly. And when you understand attention, you understand English more deeply. Imagine this. It's late afternoon, soft music is playing, you walk into a small cafe. The smell of coffee fills the air. People are talking quietly, cups clink, the world feels calm. And then you notice someone. Across the room, by the window, sunlight hitting their face. You say, I saw her. That means she was there. Your eyes caught her naturally. You didn't plan it, you didn't search for her. She simply entered your vision. It was automatic.
Right, no effort, just visual contact. Like your eyes scanned the room, and suddenly there she was.
Exactly. It was a moment. Quick, unplanned. Now let's slow the moment down. You walk in again. This time, you notice her, and then you turn your head slightly. You adjust your body. You focus. You say, I looked at her. That changes everything, because now there's intention. You decided to look. You chose to focus your eyes on her face. Maybe you were curious. Maybe you were interested. Maybe you were nervous, but it was deliberate.
So look isn't accidental anymore. It's controlled. You made the choice.
Yes, look has intention. Now let's go even deeper. You walk in, you see her, you look at her, and then you don't look away. Seconds pass. She laughs with her friend. She brushes her hair behind her ear. She takes a sip of coffee, and you're still looking. Now you say, I watched her, and that feels very different.
Oh, yes. That's not just a glance anymore. That's attention.
Exactly. Watching means time. It means you stayed. You observed the details, her expressions, her movements, her energy. There's focus in that word. There's duration.
And depending on the situation, that could be romantic or slightly creepy.
Exactly. If she looks up and smiles, and you smile back, romantic. If she looks up and you immediately look away, awkward. If she looks up and you're still staring intently, well, that's a different story.
So the difference isn't just grammar, it's emotional intensity.
Yes. Let's feel it one more time. I saw her. She appeared in your vision. I looked at her. You chose to focus on her. I watched her. You followed her movements over time. Same cafe, same girl, same moment. 3 completely different levels of attention.
It's like see equals a spark, look equals curiosity, watch equals interest.
That's beautiful. And this is why these verbs matter. Because when you choose the wrong one, you change the story.
Let's go to the cinema. It's dark. The lights dim, the screen turns on, the music starts, everyone becomes quiet. Now listen carefully. You don't say, I saw TV. You say, I watched TV. Why? Because you focused on it for time. You followed the story, you paid attention to the characters, you stayed with it for 2 hours. That's watch.
Exactly. Watching includes time and attention. You didn't just glance at the screen. You didn't randomly notice it. You stayed. That's the key word. Stayed. Now, imagine something different. You're sitting in the theater. The movie is playing. Suddenly, out of the corner of your eye, you notice something move near the exit door. You say, "I saw someone walk in." You didn't plan to see them. You didn't focus on them for minutes. Your eyes simply caught the movement. That's see.
Right, it was quick, automatic. But if I say I looked at the screen, that means I chose to turn my attention there. Maybe I was distracted by my phone. Maybe I was talking. Then I intentionally directed my eyes back to the movie. That's look.
Exactly. Look is a decision. Now let's compare 3 sentences in the same theater. I saw a scary scene. It appeared in front of you. You experienced it. I looked at the scary scene. You intentionally directed your eyes toward it. I watched the scary scene. You stayed focused through the entire moment, the music, the tension, the reaction. See is momentary. Look is intentional. Watch is extended.
So watching is almost like committing to it.
Yes, you commit your attention. Now let's make it dramatic. Imagine a quiet street at night. A detective stands in the shadows. There's a building across the road. Lights are on inside. He speaks into a recorder. He says, "I saw him leave the building." That means he visually noticed it. He didn't necessarily stare for a long time. He simply witnessed the action. His eyes registered the moment.
But now listen to this version. I was watching him. Oh, that's different. That means he was observing him carefully for minutes, maybe longer. He was tracking his movements, waiting. That's surveillance.
Exactly. Watching implies focus and duration. There's intensity in that word. Now imagine the detective says, "I looked at him." That just means he turned his eyes toward him. Short action, quick glance, no guarantee of long attention. Different intensity.
Let's compare them side by side. I saw him leave. I witnessed it. I looked at him. I directed my eyes at him. I was watching him. I was observing him continuously. Same suspect, same night, 3 different levels of involvement.
And notice something important. Watch often sounds more serious, more deliberate, more focused. That's why we say, watch the suspect, watch the baby, watch the road. Because those situations require attention over time. You don't just see the road while driving, you watch the road. Let's build a simple scale. See is passive awareness. Look is active direction. Watch is sustained focus. If the action is quick and natural, see. If you choose to move your eyes, look. If you stay focused for time, watch.
So it's really about effort and duration.
Yes, that's the real difference. Let's build a simple scale. See is passive awareness. Look is active direction. Watch is sustained focus. If the action is quick and natural, see. If you choose to move your eyes, look. If you stay focused for time, watch.
So it's really about effort and duration.
Yes, that's the real difference. Okay, now I want you to slow down. Listen carefully. Same situation, same person, different verbs. I saw him. It happened naturally. Your eyes noticed him. No effort. I looked at him. I moved my eyes intentionally. I chose to focus on him. I watched him. I focused on him over time. Seconds passed, maybe minutes. Same person, same street, same moment, completely different meaning.
And that's what makes English powerful. Tiny verb change, huge difference in intensity.
Exactly. Now let's make it even clearer. See is a moment. Look is a decision. Watch is an experience.
Okay, let's fix some very common mistakes, because this is where learners usually get confused. X. I watched a beautiful sunset. Now, this one is interesting. If you stood there for 10 minutes watching the colors change, then yes, that's correct, because it happened over time. But if you just stepped outside, glanced at the sky, and said, "Oh wow, beautiful," then check. I saw a beautiful sunset. It was quick, natural.
Exactly. Now this one. X. I watched a bird fly past. That sounds strange. Why? Because it was fast. The bird flew by in 2 seconds. You didn't follow it for minutes. Better, I saw a bird fly past. Quick action equals see.
Here's another very common mistake. X, look this. No, we need check. Look at this.
Yes, this is important. Look needs at. Always remember, look at me. Look at the sky. Look at the screen. Look at this. Look needs direction. It's intentional, so it needs a target.
But we don't say, see at me, X. No, we say, see you later. See what I mean? I saw it. Did you see that? No at, because see is not directional. It just happens.
You know what? This is actually powerful because these verbs show intention. They show how much attention you give something.
Exactly. And attention changes meaning. See equals passive. Look equals active. Watch equals focused over time. It's about effort. It's about attention. It's about duration. If you say, I saw him cry, that means you noticed it. If you say, I watched him cry, that means you stayed there. You experienced the whole moment. That feels heavier, more emotional, more intense.
So verbs aren't just grammar. They carry emotional weight.
Yes, and when you choose the right verb, you choose the right feeling.
Okay, let's test your instinct. What sounds correct? Did you see that?
Did you see that? Because it was quick, natural.
Good. Look at the camera.
Intentional movement.
We watched a movie last night.
We watched a movie last night because it lasted 2 hours.
Perfect. I saw him walking down the street.
I saw him walking down the street. It was a moment.
Exactly. And notice when the action is short, fast, sudden, we usually use see. When it continues, we use watch.
Let's lock it in one final time. See equals happens naturally, no effort. Look equals you choose to move your eyes. Watch equals you focus over time. If you understand effort, if you understand intention, if you understand duration, you understand the difference. And once you feel that difference, you don't need to memorize rules anymore.
English isn't about memorizing long grammar rules.
It's about understanding small differences,
Small verbs.
small timing changes.
Small shifts in attention.
When you master small words,
Your English becomes natural,
confident,
precise.
effortless,
You stop translating.
you start thinking.
And that's when real fluency begins.
And that's how you speak English with confidence.